Good morning, what's up? F Squad, how you doing today? It's a beautiful Sunday morning and I'm on my walk as usual. I hope you're all doing well. I'm doing pretty good. I actually had a good night's sleep tonight. I had more than 2 hours of deep sleep per my app, but I actually do feel pretty rested, so that is amazing. So I did start reading, listening to The 5 Languages of Love. And right off the bat, I can see why it's been a bestseller and why people gravitate towards it, because it just kind of brings the obvious to light. Even if it's obvious, people don't really make the connection, usually. So I'm still at the very beginning or in the first few chapters, but one thing that pops out to me, and it's a general theme in most things in life, but obviously there are different people speak different languages, love languages, or they have different primary love languages, and they could have a few other secondary, but most people have a particular primary love language, which they need in order to feel loved. You need to speak to them in that particular language for them to feel loved. If you speak to them in languages that are not their primary love language, they won't feel love, even if you are speaking to them in the other languages. So basically, what stood out to me was the fact that you need to speak to people, if you care about them, you want them to feel loved, of course, in their primary love language, not yours. But as humans, we are gung-ho most of the time on seeing things from our perspective, our love language. For example, if I'm acts of service, hypothetically, and I'm trying to communicate love to someone else, and I don't know what their love language is, and they could be, words of affirmation, but I keep doing acts of service because in my mind, in my language, that's love. For them, I'm doing all this service and they're thinking, what the hell? I took 2 hours to look good and she didn't say anything, or he didn't say anything, he couldn't even say you look great. They're not feeling the love. So there's a disconnect there. And usually, if we're going to speak in romantic terms, in the beginning, people are dealing with representatives. So if you're dealing with my representative and I'm dealing with your representative, who's a version of you that's acting in a manner that they think I would like, and my representative is acting in a manner that they think you would like, and they don't understand each other's love languages, guess what happens? It breaks down. It breaks down because people are not fundamentally communicating with one another in a manner that they can understand. It's like I'm speaking English and you speak Kachokwe, Lozi, or Mandarin or French or whatever it is, Spanish, and we are talking at 100 miles an hour at each other, not to each other, because we don't understand what each other is saying, even though what we're saying is loving. We're just not communicating. So I think that's very interesting. Also in just general communication styles, you really want to communicate with people in a manner that they need to be communicated to, not necessarily how you want to communicate, how you like to be communicated with. Does that make any sense? And I think it's kind of fundamental and key in most relationships, and I can see how, if I look back in my life, in a lot of situations, we had no understanding of each other's love languages, or even in with your family members. There's just some family members that you probably just don't get. Like, what the hell? I just did all this, and they probably have a different love language. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's always good to be self-aware and also to expand on your knowledge, because the knowledge that has gotten you thus far, I think that's Einstein, but I paraphrase, of course, can't be the thinking that has brought you thus far can't be the thinking that propels you forward, to a, different direction, or it can get you out of the mess, so to say. If my habits have gotten me to this point in time and I want to do something different, I can't continue with the same habits and expect something different. What's that called? That's called insanity. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. But as humans, sometimes we have, what's that called again? We forget stuff. I forget the word, but anyway, doesn't matter. We forget stuff that we already know, that we can't continue down the same path if we're trying to get something different. Temporary insanity, so to say. Anyhow, I thought that was pretty cool. And pretty interesting. So I'm obviously intrigued, listening more. I had to rip myself away from Voss for a little minute and start with the 5 languages of love, which I'm thoroughly enjoying thus far. And they're all funny. They all have their sense of humor. So, it's interesting. Anyhow, it's a beautiful day. Not too hot. Nice and sunny. Ooh, check that. Anyway, so I'm doing my regular Sunday walk. I think yesterday I walked like 23,000 steps or something. But my app is still acting, my Pacer app is still acting funny. I need to figure it out and see what's going on with that. Because my other app was at 23,000 steps. This one is at 18,000 steps. That's ridiculous. It's more than 5,000 steps. And I can't have that during the week because my threshold is 10 and I like to see both at 10, but I don't have the time to be walking all freaking day just to get to 10,000, even though I know it's already 10,000 because I've walked that distance before. So it's nothing new. It's just the app is acting funny. We need to investigate this, figure out what's going on. I have a theory about that, but I'm still investigating, seeing how that goes. Wait, I just jumped into this. Anyhow, thank you for watching my videos. Please remember to subscribe, press that notification button, and remember to keep it pushing. Stick with whatever it is that you've chosen as your form of exercise, or whatever it is you're doing that you're trying to push through in life. Stick with it. Obtain knowledge. Seek guidance from people that know more than you. And keep the faith. But for right now, here at F Squad, where we focus on being fit, fine, and fabulous, I gotta keep it stepping. Deuces, my dear. Hey.